how would you want like your marriage to be in regards of gender roles? Are you looking for a more traditional wife who is not working, who's staying home? Do you want your wife to take care of the kids predominantly, to do most of the cleaning and most of the cooking? Would you prefer a dual income where she's working? Would you prefer, like, do you want that dynamic to be?
It depends on what it is. It depends on what, point we are exactly. Like, let's say I'm fresh out of college.
No, let me give you, let's say the same example as before. Let's say you're getting married and you're 27 years old and you want to have children and you make $150,000 a year.
$150,000 a year. And you want to have children? I'd probably want her to work. $150,000 is nothing. In this economy, man, is nothing. I'd want her to work.
How much would you want her to be making?
Oh, it don't really matter to me. Actually,
some people prefer more, less.
Here's the thing.
Okay.
Here's the thing when I say I want her to work. Let me rephrase that. If she wants to work, I'm more than happy with her working.
Okay.
She don't gotta work.
Okay.
She has no obligation to work. But if she wants to help it, I'll definitely take the help because I want to have a lot of kids and $150,000 is nothing.
That's really nice of you, but just for the question's purpose, like what would you prefer? Like
I'd prefer her to work.
Okay, you prefer her to work.
I prefer her to work for sure. Now, if I'm making $900,000, then I wouldn't prefer her not to work. I'd extremely prefer. In fact, I couldn't mandate it, but that's something. Let's say you're going into getting married, right? Like you're not married yet, but you're going to it and you're talking to her about like things that you want. And at that point, I'm making $900K. I'm making it very, very clear to her. You can't work. If not, this is not going to work for me. There's no point because at that point, I'm making $900K. We have the capabilities to have multiple kids. It's time to
Okay.
take care of the kids. There's no reason why she should be working. What can we get that we couldn't get?
I understand. The value that she gives to the children outweighs the $50K a year she makes doing this job there.
Even if she makes $100, $200K, how much more things do we need if we're making $900K a year?
That's good. So for me, I would definitely prefer that she's working regardless of the situation. Even if I'm making really good money, if we got young children to take care of, I can see that. But I would prefer that she's working and that she has something she's passionate about and something she's working towards, whether that's a business or like a career in an engineer and she wants to get up here. I just like the whole driven mindset. I hate the idea of like the wife. I've seen so many stories on like Dave Ramsey and stuff where they have a wife. The guy makes a lot of money, $250K a year, but they're in debt because the wife is just a professional shopper and she's spending money for a living. But also, I really value intelligence. Like I want a woman who's really smart, someone who keeps me in track and motivates me as well. So my dream situation is that I have a business and that she's just involved in that, so she helps out.
I don't mind that. That's a really good idea.
That's the best situation, right?
That's the best situation. That's the best situation. You own a business and then, maybe she has a degree in something like a, supply chain or something. And instead of spending money on, an employee, giving them $150K, you give it back to yourself.
Yeah.
Or back to the family. You give it to her and give it to the family. You know what I mean?
Absolutely. I just feel like it's just a mindset. Like I believe that everyone should have a purpose in life, and you shouldn't you shouldn't be a grown person in your 30s who's living like a teenager who just spends someone else's money and doesn't have a proper purpose and isn't doing something. And I know being a mother is like a big thing and all that.
Okay, I disagree with that. Being a mother of children, still being part of a greater community as well, and being a mother of children is the big purpose. And there's other ways to be, beneficial in society other than just bringing money back home.
Yeah. It's not about the money. Like even if I make $900, I just want her to have something that she's passionate about, that she's working. Like, and this could literally be, she could be a stay-home wife.
Okay, what if she's on like a board of a organization that's part of your community? Like let's say you have a community and she's part of that board.
But not a job.
But not just an actual job where she's bringing in income.
What kind of community are we talking? Like at church or something?
Something like that.
Something like that. I think do that and have something else that you're working on. But here's my thing, okay? She can be a stay-at-home mom of like 3 children. First of all, my point in this was not just that she's a mother. This might be before the kid. Maybe the kids are already out in school or a little bit older. I don't like the idea of like she's just like not doing anything productive like with the day. But here's the thing. I don't even mind if it's like a small part-time side hustle where she has her own little clothing brand online where she's working 15 hours a week while mainly taking care of the kids. And it's not about the money at all. Now, if I'm not making if I'm making under 200, I would prefer a dual income. Like, let's say
1,000%.
Let's say I make 200,000 a year. That's okay. That's pretty good. But imagine she's doing a job where she's making 110, 310,000 versus 210,000 before taxes. That's a ginormous difference. if we got a kid under, that's okay. Here's the thing: most parents, their children are in grade school, right? So it's not like you're taking care of them all day. Like you take them to school, and then what? She goes and like spends your money while you're working. That's how I see it.
That's why you marry somebody good. That's not just gonna go out there and like use your credit card, like daddy's credit card, and just start like. She's gonna be considerate, bro.
Okay, yeah, that's a good thing. I see online.
Marry somebody that's good. You're looking at it from the most evil point of view. Like, I don't even know who the wife I'm gonna get married. Maybe she's just gonna use me as a sugar daddy. You can't think like that.
I still just love the productivity. Okay, let's say like we got kids and they're like 5, 7, and 9, right? She takes the kids to school, comes home, and then what? Like maybe she goes on a run, goes to the gym, and then what? Like you can't clean every day, right? Like once the house is clean, you don't have to clean every single day. I want her to have a purpose. That's my main point.
No, I agree.
Yeah.
Even if she's
beyond being a parent.
If she's not working, she definitely has something that she has to be involved with other than being a parent. Now, primarily, her primary thing is being a great mother and being a great wife, of course.
Amen.
But she should also have like other ways that she's part of society.
Yeah, contribute.
I don't want her to have mental health issues because she's locked into the house. Like I've seen like some mothers like. Their husbands literally keep them like that's crazy. That's actually idiotic to me, and pretty hypocritical because it'd be the same dads that you find in coffee shops and stuff, chatting it up with their boys while they leave their wives and kids locked into the crib. But
let's
not go on and on there.